What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another reaction.
And support a black-owned business.
I run my city from the west side, big to best. I do a day to shy. Wayne, Louisiana, Dr. Dre to Los Angeles. This is it, bitch. Michael Misfit, hot day, a legend and moonwalk. Sliding across the stage in '87. This that Tupac out the window. Both hands throwing up that middle finger. Fuck them other niggas, ratchet bitches, and my demons. Yeah, I'm queening.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another reaction video. My name is Natalie Love. I'm your host with the most. If this your first time coming, welcome. If this your second time, welcome, and you should be subscribed by now. But if you don't know what I'm here to do and who I am, allow me to tell you again, I'm Natalie Love. I'm your host with the most, I'm here to facilitate these reaction videos with comedic commentary, okay? That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. Now, before I get into the rest of the shit that I do, all right, make sure you like. Why? Because it helps us grow. Make sure you comment. Why? Just to let the Love Gang know that you have subscribed to the Love family. Now, I did mess up. Because if you have not already subscribed and you don't like no cussing, allow me to tell you now, you should. Unfollow me. Before we even get fucking started. See how fast it happens? I probably cussed already and didn't even realize I had done cussed. That's how goddamn bad it is, okay? That's how I talk, all right? So if you can't handle that, if you can't handle frequent pauses whenever I see fit, because this is my motherfucking reaction video, you may want to go ahead and slide, all right? So other than that, if you ain't got no problem with frequent pauses, me chitter-chattering through the whole motherfucking video, because that's what I do, because I'm not your boring homegirl. I'm your virtual homegirl, okay? I'm the one that actually talk to you, that fuck with you for real. Okay, when you can't get that other bitch on the phone, you can always press play on me, baby. I'm always here for you. Okay, so since I am her and I am not one of them, I'm gonna talk during this goddamn video. If you have a problem with that, you can definitely go ahead and exit stage left. Now, it is quite all right, okay? So we actually got them house rules out the way fairly fucking quick, okay? I can appreciate that. One thing we didn't get out the way, though, and that's that marketing and inventory. Y'all already know. Cue it. What the fuck is up, Love family? As y'all already know, this is your girl Natalie Love, and yes, I've been gone for a minute, but bitch, I'm back with the jump off. Not only that, bitch, I'm back with motherfucking merch, okay? Y'all love Teeny so much, I got her on the shirt. Y'all love being from the New Revival Tree of Life Institutional Double Rock on the side of the road Missionary Baptist Church of Mount Calvary. Bitch, I got a shirt for that. Do the Lord allow cussing? Wow. Okay, fuck it. But I got shirts. Y'all make sure to get off your ass or stay on your ass. Just stay on your phone and go to that website and look up some shit about me and get a shirt. All right, so make sure you stop by thenatalielove.com and pick up your merch. Get you a shirt. You can wear it while I'm at work, okay? Now, the only reason I ain't got my Love Game merch on now is because when I use the green screen, for some reason, it goes through me. I'm not in the fucking mood. So I was still going to wear black, but I was going to wear a little bit less black so you can see this brown skin. You know I love you, bro. Bitch, a bitch do not know how to act with a press. I'm bitches, okay? So what we getting into today is a Mr. Ballin special. Y'all know Mr. Ballin has a special place in my heart for the dark and mysterious storytelling by white man, all right? Someone in this photo has an evil secret, Pronunciate, Natalie. Someone in this photo has an evil secret, okay? So as y'all already know how this thing go, let me make sure we record in bow. And let's go.
Fair warning, the ending to this story is very abrupt and very upsetting. But before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload once or twice every week. So if that's of interest to you, please offer to curl the like button's hair for their wedding, but then repeatedly touch the top of their ear with the curling iron. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's story.
I'm gonna try not to guess too early on, but y'all know I fucks up with Mr. Ballin. The Strangers.
Strongsville, Ohio used to be just another typical quiet American suburb. Nice homes, nice families, nice restaurants, and a mall. But in late 2017, a discovery was made in Strongsville that put this town on the map in the worst way possible. To understand this discovery, we need to go back to early 2016 when this town's nightmare began. In early 2016, two longtime Strongsville residents, Bruce and Melinda Pleskovic, received some very exciting news. Their 20-year-old daughter named Anna and her 20-year-old fiance named Jeff had just told them they were expecting a baby girl. And so Bruce and Melinda were totally excited about the prospect of finally becoming grandparents.
Damn, she was only
but
20.
At the same time, they knew Anna and Jeff did not have very much money. Anna still lived at home with Bruce and Melinda. She did have a job, but she made very little money. She was a waitress at a local Applebee's restaurant. And as for Jeff, he had a better job working as a service technician for a heating and air company, but he didn't have enough money to support him and Anna. In fact, he didn't even have enough money to move out of his parents' home. He was still living with them on the other side of Strongsville. And so this couple, they're really excited about their baby, but Bruce and Melinda are thinking, you know, we really got to find a way to support them because they're just not prepared for this first child. And so Bruce and Melinda, they talked it over and they decided the best way to support this young couple was to tell their daughter if she wanted to, she could invite Jeff to come stay at their house. That way the two of them could be together, and once they had their daughter,
motherfucking one.
Bruce and Melinda could be the great-grandparents and help take care of the baby. And in general, this would allow the couple to just continue to save money and move out when they were ready. And so when they told Anna they were willing to do this, Anna was so happy. She was so grateful. She called Jeff, and Jeff was equally happy and grateful and said, yes, I would love to move in with you guys. So it took several months, but finally in June of 2016, which was the same month.
Since a lot of y'all like to prematurely comment down below who you think it's gonna be. I don't quite have an idea yet of who gonna fucking snap, because that's all it is, because right now everything is too hunky-dory. So somebody gonna fucking snap. Everybody been smiling in pictures so far, so I don't know who to lean toward, but y'all let me know who y'all think it could be.
And Anna welcomed their daughter to the world, Jeff would leave his parents' home and move into Bruce and Melinda's home. And almost immediately,
because what's the difference in him staying in his parents' house?
And the rest of Anna's family began experiencing some very strange and disturbing things around their property. Just a few days after Jeff had moved in, he and Anna were home alone. They were on the main floor of the house and they were having dinner at the kitchen table. And at some point, Jeff just happened to glance out one of the back windows that looked out into their backyard. And now this property had this huge sprawling backyard. Basically, they had all these houses kind of in a row, and they all had almost like a communal backyard, this big open space. And so Jeff is looking out into this huge backyard, and he sees off in the distance something strange. He doesn't really know what he's looking at because it's nighttime, it's dark, but he stands up and he walks over to the window, and as he's looking out, he sees way off on the back side of their property.
Get closer so you can definitely see it. I don't know how I feel. Because shit don't start happening till you get here.
Are these four strangers just standing there appearing to be smoking something, and they're just kind of looking up at the Pleskovic house. And so Jeff is looking out the window at these four, not really sure what to make of them, and he calls Anna over, and so Anna walks over, and the two of them are looking out, not really sure what to do. I mean, on the one hand, these four people who they clearly didn't know, or they believed they didn't know, were definitely trespassing. But at the same time, they weren't really doing anything. They were just kind of standing
Strangers
there smoking.
is one of my
but
favorite
as they're
movies.
watching these four people, one of them begins walking up the property towards their home and then stops alongside the Pleskovic trampoline, which was in their backyard. And this person begins fiddling with the trampoline. And so at this, Anna's like, you know what? I don't know what they're doing. I feel totally uncomfortable. And so Anna would actually call the police. And so the police, they come out. But by the time the squad car arrived in front of the Pleskovic house, the four people in back must have seen the car and they took off running. And so when the police officer went in the backyard and looked around, there was no one there, and there was also no sign they were there. There was no dropped cigarette butts or anything. They just kind of vanished. And so the police officer told Jeff and Anna, if they come back, you know, let us know. And so the officer left. And then a little while later, when Bruce and Melinda came home, Jeff and Anna would tell them about what happened, and they would agree that that was totally strange, that in all the decades they had lived in Strongsville, they had never had anybody stroll onto their property and just loiter in the middle of the night. And so for the next couple of days, the family was definitely on edge, but after a little...
So now y'all got people loitering, just standing on your motherfucking property after your boyfriend come move in. I need the story to move along because I don't trust him now. Because why you couldn't stay with your parents? Like, I completely understand y'all didn't have no money to take care of the baby, but y'all don't have to live together. That's how a second child come. Y'all ain't getting married. Y'all still boyfriend and girlfriend. He can stay with his parents. Y'all can't spend the night, commute back and forth? No? Oh, okay.
For a while, this whole incident was largely forgotten about. Fast forward about 5 months to November 2016, and Anna was home alone with her young daughter, and she's playing with her daughter on the first floor of the house towards the front of the house. And as she's playing with her daughter, she suddenly hears what sounds like someone trying to open the back sliding glass door on the back of the house. And so instinctively, Anna thinks, okay, you know, Jeff must be out there or my parents must be out there and they don't have a key or something. And so she scoops up her daughter and she begins walking towards the back of the house to open this door for them. And when she walks into one of the back rooms, before she reaches the back door, she happens to look out one of the windows that looked out into the backyard. And standing right up against the glass is this unknown male figure with his face pressed up against the glass. And so Anna just freezes and stares at this guy. And then this guy, he notices Anna and he ducks down out of view. And now Anna's thinking to herself, this is the guy. He must have been trying to break in my back door. I'm home alone. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if he's going to try to break in again. And so she just turns and runs back towards the front of the house. She runs upstairs. She goes in a bedroom. She locks the door and she calls the police. But by the time the police come out there and they look around, they can't find this unknown figure that was at the back of the house. And there's no sign of an attempted forced entry. And so unfortunately, they told her, look, you know, I'm sure this was very traumatic for you, but there's really nothing we can do here. There's no evidence to suggest who did this. And so please just, you know, keep your house locked. And if you see anybody suspicious,
certain shit I don't know if I'm built for. We keep guns in this house. So my first instinct is to shoot wherever the fuck you at. Like, I don't know if y'all seen, I did a vlog the other day and Mike was coming in the house and announce yourself. Because if I make it to where that thing at, whichever one. So I be scared for shit like this because, like, you know, sometimes people play too much and want to come knock on your bedroom window and shit. Let's just say if the side gate is open, somebody want to come play at your back window. You will get hurt. I'm not finna try and guess who it is. I don't know if I got time to run to no phone. I would rather neutralize and subdue you and then call them. So I got to figure that out because kapow. Like, I would have shot that whole wall up. Just the fact that you crouched down on the side of my shit. I'd have shot the whole wall up. No need for it.
Your property, call us back. And so naturally, after the police left and Anna had a chance to contact Jeff and her parents, they were horrified and they rushed home to comfort her. And then after the initial shock of this incident had worn off, the family began to speculate, you know, do you think this might be connected to those 4 strangers we saw on our property a few months ago? It just seems odd that those two things would happen so close together. And then the family began to think, okay, well then, who is this person? Who are these people? What do they want? Why are they targeting us?
And they ain't been coming around.
Because as it was, the Pleskovic family, they didn't have any enemies, at least none that they knew of. If anything, the people of Strongsville adored this family, especially Melinda, the mother. For the past 20 plus years, she had been a middle school teacher in town and her students adored her. She was also a big-time soccer coach in the community because she had played in college and she was still very passionate about it. So she was this amazing coach. And in the eyes of many parents in the Strongsville community, Melinda was a bit of an inspiration because she was not only the mother to Anna, she was also the mother of an 18-year-old boy named Kyle who had Down syndrome and was nonverbal.
Okay, because I was going to say, wait a minute.
Just had this unbelievable way with him where
was
she was
Kyle
so
okay?
good to him. She incorporated him in everything. She got him so involved. She gave him the best life he could possibly have. And so anytime you saw Kyle with his mother, Kyle would be all smiles. Even though Kyle couldn't speak, it was so obvious obvious, his mother made him incredibly happy. But regardless of the reason for these strangers to be lurking around their property, the Pleskovic family was now totally on edge and found themselves constantly looking out the windows, especially at night, in fear these strangers were going to come back and might try to break in again. And unfortunately, these strangers would come back. In January of 2017, so 2 months...
Yeah, nah, you'd have me fucked up. You'd have me fucked up. It's just certain shit I can't play with. My safety is one. Jingling at the goddamn door? No. Shooting straight through it.
2 months after Anna saw that unknown figure at the window and heard the back door sliding around, Bruce's car was broken into. It was sitting in the driveway of their property. Someone got inside of it and stole his laptop. And so Bruce, he calls the police and he says, you know, I've got to believe this has to do with the people that are harassing.
So, since your boyfriend has come, people have been stalking and harassing your house long enough to the point to where he came when you were pregnant. You've had your daughter now, and these people are still harassing your house with him there. Somebody has tried to break into your house. Now somebody done broke into your dad's car. And this is a small town where y'all have no enemies that you know of. I could be wrong, but the common denominator.
My family, and the police believed him, and they began looking around and asking around, but they could never track down the laptop or the thief. And so once again, the family was kind of left on their own, and the police said, look, you know, if you see anything else, let us know, but there's not much we can do here. A few months later, in July of that year, Anna, Jeff, and their daughter were all home together one night when Anna happened to look out one of the back windows on their first floor, and out on the very back of the property were 3 strangers just standing in that same spot where they saw those 4 strangers smoking the year before. And these 3 strangers are just standing there looking up at the house. And so horrified, Anna calls out to Jeff and says, look, there are 3 people in the back of our property. And so Anna, she pulls out her phone and she's calling the police. And as she's calling the police, Jeff, who's totally upset that there are these people harassing him and his family and making them feel unsafe, he just grabs a flashlight and storms out the back door to go confront these people. But as soon as Jeff went out the back door, before he could even shine the light on them, the 3 people had turned and ran and vanished. And so finally, when the police did show up, they were aware of all the calls they had gotten from this family. And so they went out there and they did a serious search for these 3 strangers, but like always, nothing was found. And so
I would have assumed that they was probably hallucinating.
If you see anything else, let us know.
Jesus.
The following month,
I would have assumed that they was hallucinating had it just been the girlfriend and the boyfriend. But the fact that everybody in the family done seen them, somebody coming out there. Like, is he here every time they come? Like, I don't trust the boyfriend.
August, Anna was home with her daughter along with her mother.
Well, except for the one time they came.
As Anna is in the front of the house in the playroom with her daughter, she hears the sound of somebody trying to open that back sliding door.
Ain't no way.
Immediately, her radar is up because she knows what happened the last time she heard the sound. There was that person in the window. But she's thinking, okay, I can't just immediately call the police. I need to at least look and see if there's someone that I know at the back door. And so she scoops her daughter up, she stands up, and she walks around to the edge of the room she's in, and she kind of peeks her head down this hallway that will give her a clear view of this backsliding glass door. And once she finally has a full view of whoever is there, she screams because there are 2 large adults, as she would say, standing at the back door trying to force open this door. And so when she screams, these 2 strangers, they hear it, they turn around and they run.
You're not going to get to
she was
keep
upstairs,
running.
She hears her daughter screaming. She comes flying downstairs. She's trying to figure out what's going on. Anna is hysterical. The baby's crying. And so Melinda actually calls the police about what her daughter has just seen. The police come out. They search the property. They can't find anyone. And so again, the police leave and they tell the family, look, you know, I'm sorry this is happening to you.
We can't do anything.
We can't do anything.
Because
so
we can't get out here fast enough.
Anything else happens, and we'll be out here as soon as we can. You know, we're bound to catch these people, but you know, right now we just don't have much to operate on. The following month, which was September, one of Melinda's car keys would go missing, and whoever had these keys, whoever had stolen
one of your car keys go missing from where? Because it has to be inside of your house. Has your car keys ever went missing before? Is this new? Like the other weird shit that's been occurring since your fucking boyfriend has been there? Huh?
Stolen these keys, would use it to randomly start Melinda's car in the middle of the night, and they also used it to set off her car alarm at odd hours of the night. And then also during this time frame that her keys were missing, they also discovered that there were nails jammed into the tires of Bruce's car. And so of course, you know, the family calls the police and tells them about what's going on, but the police can't do anything. And so very frustrated, Melinda actually takes to Facebook and posts that someone's stolen her keys and please just give them back. And just overall, she's pleading with whoever is harassing her family to just leave them alone. But unfortunately, this post would not do anything. The harassment would continue. A month later, on October 19th, Jeff was home alone when he heard the sound of the backsliding glass door rattling. And now he knows that every time this has been heard by Anna, that there's always some stranger at the back door. And so Jeff grabs the family dog and he very carefully turns and looks down that hallway towards the back door to see who
Fuck
this is.
that dog.
And right as he pokes his head out, he sees there's this large adult figure with a hood up trying to open this back door. And so the dog sees this person and starts barking and running towards the door. Jeff runs after the dog, and this big person outside who's trying to break in, he sees the dog, he sees Jeff running, and he turns and he runs away. And so Jeff and the dog, they stay inside the house and they watch this guy just take off across the property and disappear into the trees. And Jeff would call the police, but like always, the police came out and there just was nothing they could do. 4 days later, on October 23rd, Jeff, along with his young daughter and Bruce, they went to the local Applebee's where Anna worked to have dinner there and have Anna wait on them. And then after they were done eating, they said their goodbyes to Anna, they left the restaurant, they hopped in their cars, and they drove back to their house. When they got there, Bruce was the first up the steps, and he got to the front door and it was locked, and so he knocked, and Kyle, his son, he came and unlocked the door. Bruce went inside, followed closely behind by Jeff, who was holding his daughter. They get inside and Bruce walks through the house to the back of the house where the kitchen is. He flips on the lights and there's something on the kitchen floor. And when Jeff sees it, he immediately turns around and runs out of the house carrying his daughter. He grabs Kyle along the way and just takes them straight out of the house. And then once Jeff was outside, he called 911. And when you listen to his 911 call, it sounds like Jeff is unable to process what he has just seen.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Somebody's been attacked in my house.
Somebody's been what?
Attacked.
They attacked who? Who was attacked?
Who the fuck is hiring some of these 911 fucking operators? I listened to the call the other day from the fucking situation with the baby. And who the fuck is hiring some of y'all? Who's being attacked? Bitch, he just specifically said someone has been attacked in my house. Who are they attacking? Someone has been attacked in my house. Are you asking me who it is? Get somebody here. Get my address. We can talk about the pleasantries while they on their way. Ugh. Is he alert?
He was attacked by whom? Do you know?
She was. No, we just came home. She's on the kitchen floor.
Jeff and Bruce had just discovered Melinda lying on the kitchen floor. She'd been stabbed over 35 times and shot 3 times. She would be rushed to the hospital, but she would die that night.
So if any of y'all put down in the comments below that guns and violence and shit ain't the motherfucking way, that's overkill. Overkill like that is personal, in my opinion. If it ain't her motherfucking daddy, because I highly doubt that their son with Down syndrome, unless he's just a fucking genius, would hurt the very person that loved him the way that the town claims she loved on him. Who don't like your mama like that? It has got to be somebody close to her or close to the family. It has been pure chaos since your boyfriend got here. To stab her 30 some odd times and to shoot her 3 times, you don't think she was dead after the stabbing, or what came first? Because you did everything multiple times, so I'm sure death would have came from either one. For somebody to do shit like that, that's personal. If people's faces covered up, that's personal. Shit, and they showing remorse. But you, 30 sometimes, I will blow a motherfucker away. I'm not going to give you no year to fuck with me like that. You got but of one time to run, baby, and you come on back if you like. That's what them classes is for. To get your license to carry. You're not going to get to run away like that. And keep coming back. That's fucked up.
Family was in shock and couldn't even begin to process what had
Because who the
just
fuck
happened.
would want her dead
They
that
were
bad?
all acutely aware that whoever had done this to Melinda had to be connected to all of these strange and suspicious people that had been lurking around their property for the better part of 2 years. In fact, literally after Jeff had called 911, Bruce was inside in the kitchen kneeling next to his dying wife.
Dying.
And he called
She wasn't
911,
even dead
and he would
yet.
tell the dispatcher that the Strongsville Police Department really dropped the ball.
911, what city is the emergency in?
Please come to 1 for Blazing Star. I think
Nuh-uh.
my wife, that someone.
Where we at? 1534. Wait a minute. Because if you call 911 and you hear this,
Dispatcher that the Strongsville Police Department really dropped the ball.
911, what city is the emergency?
I don't even want your motherfucking help. And I would hate to waste precious time, but you ain't the nigga I want to talk to. I don't feel like you gonna help me because you won't help yourself and get another job because you don't like this one. If you are inspiring to be a motherfucking 911 dispatcher, figure that shit out. That shit sounds discouraging. I know I'm not finna get the help I need from you. You know how you can approach somebody and you just know their customer service finna be bad? Most of the times you ain't let down.
Yeah.
Please come to 1 for Blazing Star. I think my wife's dead. Someone. We've had people breaking into our fucking house,
Sir.
and now someone fucking killed her.
Sir, tell me the city you need to talk to.
Strongsville, Ohio.
Okay, you need to be transferred. Don't hang up.
911, what's the city of your emergency?
Strongsville, Ohio. We have people on the way already.
What's the address?
For Blazing Star. I think someone killed my wife.
You think someone killed your wife?
Yeah, it looks like
Okay,
she has stab wounds on her back. We've had people trying to
Stop
break into
talking.
our house
Okay,
all
I
year.
get that.
I understand, sir, I need to ask you questions, okay? Are you there right now?
I just got in the door with my new son-in-law. My son Kyle was here
Okay,
with her.
sir, what I want you to do is walk outside.
The Strongsville Police Department would come out in force for this case, and they would solve it in just 4 days. And when they went public with who killed Melinda, no one could believe it. Back on October 23rd, so this was the night Melinda was discovered, Jeff, along with his young daughter and Melinda and her son Kyle, they were all together in the house. And at some point, Jeff had put his daughter down in her playpen and then went into the kitchen where Melinda was. And he walked up to her, pulled out a knife, and stabbed her over 35 times. And then when Melinda fell to the ground, Jeff drew a gun and shot her 3 additional times to make sure she was dead.
You say, huh? What you saying? Oh, okay. I know what I be talking about. Sometimes. Sometimes them context clues be context cluing. Shit like that didn't start happening until you got here, motherfucker. Why was it mandatory for him to come stay with y'all? And now somebody's stalking our fucking house. And out of everybody that done been caught up in the house by themselves, you the only one that haven't? The dad done been home alone, him and the dog. The mom has been home alone, her and Kyle. Anna has been home alone, her and the baby. You want to scare them. The one time Melinda's at home with Kyle by themselves. I be knowing some shit sometime. Cause hell no. Fuck no.
Now, while he was doing this, his daughter is literally just a few feet away, and Kyle, presumably, is also right nearby, but he has no way of understanding what's happening to his mother. And so with these two totally innocent lives just right nearby, Jeff would clean off his weapons, and he'd take off his bloody clothes, and he would hide them inside of his car, and then he would just scoop up his daughter, and he would leave the house, leaving Kyle alone in the house with his dying mother in the kitchen, just leaves him there, shuts the door, locks it, and then Jeff and his daughter would drive to take somebody's mother from to have dinner with Melinda's husband and her daughter. And then after several hours, when they got back to the property, Jeff knew what was waiting for them inside, and he still allowed Bruce to go inside first and discover his dying wife on the kitchen floor. Very little is known about why Jeff did this, because Jeff has actually never come out and given his motive for the crime. The running theory is that Jeff actually was not going to be able to pay for the wedding, which was coming up in a couple of days, and the wedding venue had actually contacted Melinda and said, hey, you know, we're canceling the wedding because your future son-in-law can't pay for it. And so Melinda apparently confronted Jeff about his financial troubles, and the theory is he snapped and killed her. However, that can't possibly be the entire story for why he did this.
The male ego is very fragile. Me and Mike just did a podcast about that over on the Patreon. Because he ain't never came out and said nothing, that shit sounds about right. Then again, she knew he was having financial struggles and troubles, which is the whole reason why you were allowed to come to my home. So if you couldn't pay for a wedding, why not just say that? Hell, you can't afford rent. Fuck a wedding. I'm pretty sure this was probably some, if that even was the true scenario, because like he just said, he has never come out and talked about why. The male ego is so fucking fragile. But I do not believe this woman that already knew that you were a broke man would have required you to throw a wedding for her daughter. She already done had a baby. She already done been pregnant. The sin done. Do y'all even still like each other at this point? And was the confrontation, I don't know these people. Just from looking on the video, it's like, I don't think the confrontation was like, man. He mad about what the fuck he can't do as a man any fucking way. Instead of him just saying, you know what, I'm gonna head on back to mama house where I ain't got to pay a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? And probably didn't have to pay nothing there neither. But you have been doing shit. Instead of just being honest. I ain't got the fucking money. So sad.
Because it would turn out Jeff was found to be responsible for literally every single suspicious event that had taken place around the Pleskovic property leading up to the attack. Meaning every time they had seen strangers lurking around their property or people trying to break into their house, that had been because of Jeff. Either it was literally Jeff outside being one of these suspicious people, or he had asked friends or hired someone or groups of people to pretend to be suspicious people on the property, or Jeff had been the only person to see these suspicious people, and then miraculously when other people attempted to look outside, you know, they were gone. And so obviously Jeff was lying. And so I actually had the opportunity to speak with one of Jeff's childhood friends who was actually living roughly in the Strongsville area when this horrible murder took place. And what this person told me is that what is kind of generally accepted as why Jeff did this, according to the people in Strongsville, is that Jeff apparently loathed Melinda. Even though she had opened her house to him, he loathed her. And as soon as he moved in 2016, he began plotting to kill her. And so all of these suspicious events were Jeff's attempt at building this really intricate alibi that they had these strangers out there that were targeting this family, and so that when she would ultimately be killed by him, it would look like these strangers had done it. And at first, it totally worked. Everybody believed, the police, the family, friends, that strangers had broken into the house and killed Melinda.
And everybody's backyard open.
Suspicion on Jeff after her murder that Jeff actually served as a pallbearer in Melinda's funeral. But ultimately, the police...
From the book of Mo 3. Everybody ain't your friend. Amen. Everybody ain't your partner. Hey. Everybody ain't no real nigga. When I say I got you, I got you. But when it's fucked up, it get fucked up. You are a pallbearer. Protect your motherfucking neck at all times and trust absolutely not a motherfucking soul. Trust everybody to be everybody, and that's it. Trust people to be people, and that's it. It sucks to say. It hurts even more to see. That sorry sack of fucking lard. Pig, pussy, pork. You not only stabbed this woman, shot this woman 3 times, and she managed to stay alive, gasping for air until her husband got there. As you stood outside with her grandchild and her fucking son, that you in cold blood, stabbed her repeatedly and shot her in front of, because he can't pick up cues and clues to understand what the fuck is happening. You took them out of the house to see her daughter at Applebee's with her husband to go eat. You came back and allowed her husband to walk into the house first, so that in hopes of him finding her. Then you ran back out and called the police. You knew you ate your meal knowing she was there the entire time. There are some sick, sadistic motherfucking people walking around this fucking planet. There are some sinister motherfuckers that got some shit that go on inside of them. And they are your doctors, your lawyers, your church members. Motherfuckers wonder why I don't keep a bunch of people around me. And can you stay with me? Fuck no. Everybody energy don't be right. I'm gonna get this out. Discernment is a motherfucker. If your home was peaceful before an entity came into it, whether it be a person, whether it be an item sometimes, listen to your fucking wish, and something had to tell them, hell no, fuck no, oh no. Not only that, as a parent, if my child says, well, I'm going to go move over here, I'm going to, especially if I have a decent child, I'm going to attempt to convince my child, well, why you can't just stay here? We want to see the baby too. She can come spend the night, Monday through Friday, however we need to do it. For somebody to just let their son go. And then your hateful ass sat in that woman's house and plotted against her for damn near a year. If praying on your downfall was a fucking person, I don't put shit past nobody. I don't ever want to be surprised at the tip of a knife coming from the hand of a friend. I don't ever want to be surprised, like, why are you doing this? I trust people to people. So I'm going to make sure I got me at all times.
Police would discover the knife and some bloody clothes in the back of Jeff's car, and so they would arrest him and they would present this mountain
then what you
of
keeping
evidence
the shit
against
for, a
him,
souvenir?
and Jeff would confess to killing Melinda. However, he wouldn't give any additional information about the crime. He would just basically say, yes, I did kill her. He would also never give an apology or explanation to the family. He would ultimately be sentenced to life in prison with the opportunity for parole after 33 years. During Jeff's trial, there was this totally heartbreaking moment when Bruce, Melinda's husband, spoke. And he would say their son, Kyle, does not understand that his mother is gone. And so now, every time they go out to eat, which is something Kyle really likes to do, and he used to love doing with his mother, he'll just sit and stare out the window, eagerly expecting his mother to show up any minute. But of course, she never does. So that's gonna do it, guys. If you got something out of today,
that's fucked up. Now you done took a fiance away from a wife, a fiance away from her daughter, You've taken a father away from your daughter. You've taken a mother away from her daughter and her son, a grandmother away from, like, for what? And then you don't have not even an apology. So quite frankly, Anna, did he ever really love you? Too? He don't even owe you an apology? Y'all, I should have did this one last. I'm going to try and go on to the next one. But if not, y'all already know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all. Bye.